Oh man, I'm so behind on this thing. I almost didn't hit the start button in time. Welcome everybody. We got some more drawing fun today. I don't even have my screen share on. See that? So behind. Let's get this thing started. Okay, I just barely sent out a link to invite people. So if anyone's watching, wondering, if any of the usuals are wondering where their link is, check your email. And look at that. Fuzzy is fast. You are quick, man.
I gotta be I'm an hour or two ahead of you, so I'm already at my desk for a while.
Okay, so you're just like ready to get online. Okay, well,
the email was open, you know. Just,
nice.
I was just waiting. I was waiting for you to send
I know there's someone I missed. I relied too much on my Gmail to suggest the names, and I just need to like have a big list I send to, but it usually suggests the same names, but then sometimes it doesn't. and today it just stopped suggesting. So anyway. Buildings. Yeah, I'm going to put it on your screen for a second while I grab my coffee.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right, how's everybody doing today?
All right. Well, tomorrow's going to be an interesting stream. I have a special guest that will be joining us most likely on Wednesdays. He is one of the creators of Macroverse. And so we're going to kind of, I don't know, I want him to answer people's questions on Macroverse so that I don't have to be the spokesperson. But also, I don't know all the information. So anyway, he'll be joining us tomorrow, so that will be kind of fun.
That's exciting.
He's a cool guy. The two guys that run it, I really like them. And
do they have? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do they have exclusive rights to Remind?
Oh no, not at all. They have kind of like all those platforms. They have the rights to the version that they make and put up because it's completely reformatted for their platform.
I see.
And so it's just that, you know. So it's pretty good stuff. Did you answer this? Did you see this question?
Oh, I didn't. What?
Did you tray that?
Yeah. So I think. Did I try it?
I can't.
I think what you're talking about, because I tried Googling everything, and I think what you're talking about is the thing I've already been using, which is that's how I got this. Oh, hold on. That's how I got this composite. This was used. Yeah. This is how Google Earth is how I did this, and I tried. You can just move around, and I think the aviation he's talking about is just the idea of flying around, you know?
Oh, okay. I see.
Unless you're talking about something completely different, but I couldn't find anything other than what I've already been using, so...
Yeah. Another question from Ben. I always see people scanning inks in high-res, 600 DPI or higher, and then lowering it to color in Photoshop or whatever program, 300 DPI. Why not scan at 300 is there a reason?
I think
it's I think it's just a clarity thing. You can kind of clean up your inks at 600 DPI and get them just right before you shrink them down to color them.
I think part of it might be reusability too. Like if you sell a noir version, black and white version of your work, you want that 600 DPI.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And I work at 600, so I don't know about lowering it to 300.
Yeah.
But maybe I should. Maybe I'm wasting my.
No, I think 600
memory space.
Probably good, especially in Clip Studio. I work in like 600 in Clip Studio, but Photoshop, I don't work a whole lot bigger.
Is there? What's the I don't work in Photoshop really. So what's your reasoning behind that?
Oh, it's just because I started Phobos in Photoshop, and so I just want to at least have the first book be consistently.
Sorry, no, I meant the resolution thing. Like, why do you work in lower resolution on Photoshop? But
let's see. I think it's, there's probably no real reason. Clip Studio, I just when I started it, I would make it bigger files. I think it's because it uses like vector in the lines, and so I don't know. It's just how I've been doing it. There's probably no rhyme or reason to it. So yeah, sorry, I have no good answer for that.
Well, then just ignore me. Pretend like it was a dumb question and move on.
I just give the dumb answer. Right through.
Alan Ellsworth has a good question.
Alan. Member Alan. I mean, he's a member. Alan is a member. Question: what books would you suggest to learn how to draw that I can purchase with the next one? Good question, Alan.
What a fantastic question.
Real quick. We got cognitive drawing here. There's 47 hours. So you got so this might not apply exactly to your question. Okay, 48 hours. Yeah. You can purchase cognitive drawing right now. This is a perfect book for learning to draw. Perfect for homeschoolers, drawing groups, drawing clubs. It's 160 pages, 90 days of exercises to learn the male figure. We're over 1,000 backers now. About 48 hours, almost exactly 2 days left in this campaign. I just put a video on YouTube this morning before the stream about the proofs. We have the book proofs in already. We have a $40,000 stretch goal as well, which will be fun to give away to people. Another thing you can print out to help you with your cognitive drawing. So jump on over. You can get the book for as little as $22 for the digital book with the PDF videos. PDF book with the 90 videos, which I'll be recording as I go through the whole entire book. So it'll be kind of like a virtual teacher. Or you can get the book for $25. I think the book is just definitely worth it more than the PDF because you get nice art paper. If you look at the video about the proofs, you can see the quality of the book. You can see all the advantages of having the book. And you don't have to print out 160 pages as well and get a binder and put it all in and organize it. It's just all nicely organized for you. Especially if you're doing like homeschooling and you have 5 kids, you're not going to want to print out 160 pages for 5 kids. And get binders for everybody. So there you go. Head on over to Cognitive Drawing on Kickstarter. Link in the description, I think, of this video. So thanks for asking. All right. Anything else we got? To Fuzzy, here's a question. You have to download the app. Google Earth Pro. Under Tools, pull up Flight Simulator. Pick your plane, then start flight. Ew, there you go. So there's something different. Did you hear that, Fuzzy?
Yeah, I'm trying it right now, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, you already read this.
This is making me ill. Yeah. I don't know how to do this. Okay.
Oh, wait. So let's add your screen to it.
How do I... Dude, look at me. Look at me. I'm losing my mind over here. How does this work?
You're flying a plane?
Am I stupid?
That's giving me vertigo.
Yeah. You got it. You got to switch out of my screen. Oh, I'm upside down.
Okay.
Yikes.
I better get started. Otherwise, I'll be here all day trying to draw this one page. 2 pages.
I'll figure that out later. I'm good for now. What I've got. Fly down. Yeah, I know what I needed to do in an abstract sense. I just didn't know how to do it. If print is 300 DPI and web is 72 DPI, then is working at 700 DPI just so you can work on the details of the comic page better. Sort of. But no, I do it because I reuse my art for a lot of things. Like if I want to make a panel into, a panel I really like into a large poster, eventually you can only stretch an image so far before it starts to become pixely, right? So if I'm printing a single panel at, 11 by 17. That may be a dumb reason, but I do it enough that that it justifies it.
I know there are new tools in Photoshop and Clip Studio that help you enlarge art, and they kind of clean it up as they enlarge it. I've never tried it, but my friend has tried it and says it's pretty amazing.
I don't know specifically what your friend might be talking about. I definitely use the vector tools a lot, which allows for better cleanup as you enlarge, because it's not a rasterized layer. It's
I've never tried any of it, so I don't know. Let me see if I sent links to everybody. Where's Zach? He's usually the consistent one. You and Zach are the consistent ones. Maybe he's decided he no longer wants to be a part of it. Oh, hey, so the YouTube video came back up yesterday.
Did you look over it?
I looked at it. It was right after we started talking about H.P. Lovecraft and the associated with him.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
That's really weird.
It's so dumb that...
If anything, we were trying to say that that's not good.
Yeah, we were very polite about it, and it was like talking about it as just...
That's really strange. Yeah, if anyone wants to know what we're talking about, we obviously can't...
We'll just call H.P. Lovecraft from now on. You're being H.P. Lovecraft.
Wow, that guy was really H.P. Lovecraft. Maybe we shouldn't take chances. Maybe it was his name that triggered it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see. Let me go to Twitter and make sure I can invite a couple more people. And I need to get it on your screen because I'm not doing anything. All right, enough clicking around. Let me just start drawing. Man, I have a drawing stream and then I don't draw.
Ridiculous. Oh, whatever. That was less than a minute.
No.
Out of potentially a 4-hour.
But it's the first minutes of the live stream, so that means it's a fail. Okay.
Whatever. I was drawing.
Well, there you go.
At least, you got some art. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Let me pull up my other page. It's a reference. So I was working on my thumbnails this morning, and I cut out 2 spreads that I thumbnailed yesterday. And I was like, I don't need any of this stuff. And
that makes work a whole lot easier.
And then I thought of a great joke for one of the spreads in between, and so I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm so glad I didn't do those 2 spreads. Storytelling will be more entertaining, and it'll have a joke in it. At least funny to me. I don't know if anyone else will care. Okay. So here, let me show you how that big panel turned out yesterday. So I blurred the trees here in the foreground.
Ooh.
And then I took out the lines on the cemetery, but I left the lines subtly on the city. And so
nice. Went for the opposite of what I said to do.
Did you say lines on the cemetery?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because my brain was like, that's the steps of detail as it fades to the back.
Yeah.
So she was totally right. You need to. The city is the focus, right?
Kinda. I mean, kinda. I gotta still finish these bottom panels, but I'll do that later. Some of the time. Okay. I'm going to try to go fast today. I said that yesterday, though.
I feel like I say that every single day. I'm like, oh, yesterday was so slow. Today I'm going to get 1,000 things done. And then I end up getting exactly the amount I usually get done,
Mm-hmm. Some days there are huge amounts of work I get done. But I don't know what determines that. Oh, there's Jessica. Welcome, Jessica.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing
much. Same old stuff.
I didn't even notice the link was there until like 10 minutes later.
No worries. I sent it a second before I launched. So we figured out why the show got banned on YouTube yesterday.
I heard and I kind of figured.
Yeah.
he that shall not be named, I guess. No.
Yeah, we love that.
We don't know if it's him.
But we will not say his name.
It's more likely that it's what he stood for, but
yeah. Is it just an algorithm, we think?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is, yeah.
At this point, after all the people that have gotten taken down on both sides, it doesn't seem like it's a vendetta sort of thing. It seems like
they just keep up with it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think what it said was terms of service, right? Did you get community guidelines, or what was the?
Yeah, it's always you violated the community guidelines.
How dare you?
I know, it's so bad.
Horrible
person. Yep. Fully H.P. Lovecraft. Everyone will have to go back.
Oh no! What are you doing, man?
Maybe it was the R word.
Name. Oh yeah.
No, that's definitely what we thought it was.
Definitely.
Don't think about it. Don't look at it.
Amazon's banning all of his books. You can't find it.
That would be
big book burning.
Incredibly interesting.
There would be.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge following, so there might be a little backlash on that.
Be cool.
Oh, come on.
Watch the world burn, as everyone loses their minds. You took away my Squid Man. Why would you do that?
Hopefully you guys can't hear that in the background. There's a bunch of leaf blowers running around the neighborhood.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, good.
I can hear
it. Drive me mad.
Now
it's barely audible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if it's annoying, just mute me, and they'll leave soon.
Everybody watching online, if the stream just suddenly cuts out for any reason, just know that you can find us on Twitch. We're simultaneously streaming on Twitch and Facebook. You can find me on Facebook if you search for The Jason Brubaker or Cognitive Drawing. You can find me there, streaming on all those places. So, no worries if YouTube's algorithm has some troubles.
Pardon me.
Whoa. It does not look right. And to anyone watching online, you can also ask questions. And if we see it, we will try to respond or talk about it.
We will yell at you.
Just write question in bold, just like this, or in all caps, I mean. Strangest, funniest, craziest commission you've ever gotten. Oh boy. I don't do a lot of commissions, so I don't really have very many stories. I have old work stories.
I once did a cover for a book called My Undead Mother-in-Law.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover was the front cover was a bloody pair of like cat's eye glasses, and the back cover was was like Rockwell's Thanksgiving, but
really?
with the characters from the book and the family, and they were like zombie, parents. But not in the traditional sense, not the zombies that you think of. They just were they arguably looked like normal people, just with red eyes. But just the concept of it was silly enough.
Did you read the book?
Oh, yeah. That version of the zombies was, they would heal instantly.
Makes them a little more terrifying.
Yeah, except they kept their personalities, so they weren't. It was a comedy book, obviously, not meant to be taken seriously. The prequel to that, or that prequel, the one that came before that was called Zombie Turkeys, which is easily second place. But it was all the what do you call it? It was all the internal stuff, all the chapter icons that made it that was the best work out of all of that. Because I drew Donald Trump with a pair of cat's eye glasses on, and I drew. What was one of them was so ridiculous? It was a corgi with a kilt, and
nice.
I don't know. It was fun because there aren't a lot of instances where you're asked to do really weird stuff like that. I did Beyonce on a hoverboard.
Sounds like fun.
It was a lot of fun. Do you guys have any weird memories of... I know you said you don't really get commissions, Jason. But...
Well, when I was doing storyboards, I was hired by this one artist. He was an artist, like a painter. But he did these I guess kind of really scary paintings. And he hired me as a storyboard artist to just make a bunch of concept ideas that he could get approval for, and then he would paint them. And his direction to me was make it look as satanic as possible.
Oh.
And he had all these references, like Iron Maiden type stuff, and just just some of those that really creepy, disturbing type stuff, like some of those books that are just describe hell and stuff. And anyway, I just couldn't get into it, and I was trying, I was drawing hooks, stabbing through people, but it was still my style, and it didn't strike fear into people. And after a half a day, he was just I think I'm gonna have to find another artist. And I'm like, yeah, I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm sorry. I don't think satanic when I draw.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Hard pass.
Yeah. But my agent got me the job, so it was a hard kind of place where I was like, I just need to say I can't do this, even though my agent sold me as the guy who can do it.
Mm-hmm. That's totally fine in my book.
Yeah.
It sounds like your agent did kind of sold you up as whatever was necessary in a given job. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, that's how it worked. But there were strengths and weaknesses. So I had a lot of Vampire the Masquerade type art in my portfolio at that time from doing that kind of work. It was all based on photographs. I took pictures of people and then drew over it with ink, traced over it, like a Tim Bradstreet style, if you're familiar with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were like, "Oh, well, he can do a dark style," but it was dark,
a little darker,
but it wasn't like, let's describe hell. Let's try to make people like have nightmares when they see your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had any weird commissions, and I didn't take a ton, just because I'm like, I'm working on my own stuff. But it was cool. At one point, we lived on a base overseas, a military base, and the guys who flew the Operation Christmas Drops, if anyone's familiar with that, they around Christmas time will fly these HC-130s, and they would drop goods on these remote planets and care packages and things of that nature, and they do it around December. And so one of the pilots came up to me and was like, "Hey, can you design a patch that they print out and they would put on their shoulder?" So I got to design Santa Claus flying a C-130 and dropping off gifts and presents. So, and they wore them. They got it printed and they got to wear it, and it was documented. So that was kind of fun.
That's neat.
Yeah.
It is cool.
You're part of the mission.
Like you said, I knew what you meant, but you said they drop off these care packages on different planets.
Did I say planets?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, she's in the mindset of her.
Oh my god, I didn't even hear
it. Yep. Coming in 2,200, the year 2,200. I feel like a different planet sometimes.
Richard says, "Hey, just can you move the top of the bottom images up so that the images are breaking up the bottom line of the top panel with the city view?"
What
are you talking about? Are you talking about this? City view? That's all I can think of.
Breaking up the bottom line of the top. Okay, so the reference. This is the definition of a run-on sentence, but they're saying that your top panel that has the city view in it, they're wondering if it would be a good idea to have the bottom panels lay over that top panel.
Oh.
To break up that bottom line.
I see. Yeah, it could. I'm choosing not because just for clarity with readability, like I'm pushing people across a double page spread, and then I'm pushing them back to read the bottom. So I want it to very clearly be a different strip of panels on the bottom. So that's kind of my reasoning for not blending it too much to the art. So that's my excuse. So there you go. Good thoughts though, Richard. I think as a standalone print, like a poster, it would be better that way though. Like the way you're describing it. And thanks for clarifying that, Fuzzy.
Well, yeah, no problem.
I've just been like, I don't know what you're talking about. See ya. Boy. What is the $40,000 stretch goal? We're making a calendar type chart thing. So this is for cognitive drawing. Let me get back here. We're at 39,000. We're making a calendar thing where it has 90 days. And it's like you can check it off, and you can print it out and put it on your wall to kind of have the goal in mind of completing the cognitive drawing challenge. So that's what that's going to be. I was thinking of printing it with the book, but we're already at the printer right now, so it would complicate things at this point. So we'll just have it to be a thing you can print out. So that's what we're looking at for the $40,000 stretch goal.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
And then you can reprint it out and use it for other challenges.
Yeah. Here's a question. What is your favorite webtoon? Citra! Sorry.
Womp womp.
Everyone just says their own webtoon.
Oh, I don't read a ton, but I will say Space Boy's pretty great, and I haven't kept up with it for a while, so I'll have to go back and check it out.
Oh, yeah, Space Boy is pretty amazing.
I have never read it. I feel bad.
You should.
Feel bad or go read it?
Both.
All right.
No. It's good. Yeah, it's gosh, he's still going at it.
Yeah. I try to get Steven on the stream, but then every time he comes on, his internet's not working, and so he just cuts in and out a million times and finally quits.
Are you saying that his internet's worse than mine?
Apparently, because you haven't had as many problems as he has on my streams.
For once.
Yay!
Watch, it's just gonna all go to crap. I cannot imagine how much work he does every week. If he's still doing that amount. I guess he took a break for a while, but that's a lot to put out there every week.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was talking to him just the other week about how he actually can get through it, because that was such a challenge for me to have that schedule. And he's kind of found this way of going about it where he does his thumbnails that morning for the page he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not burnt out thinking about too many thumbnails at once. And so it's interesting. I've kind of done that a lot with Phobos on and off, and I can see how that just helps me to kind of just stay in the groove. You're not planning too far ahead, but you have to have your story kind of in place for that to work, you know? But anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. You really have to be okay with letting the story run its course.
Mm-hmm.
And not, feel like you have control over every step of it.
Yeah.
But seems to work.
He describes, well, I shouldn't put words in his mouth, but he kind of describes it as, there's stories that have the beginning, middle, and end, and although his has a global arc, a big arc, he's looking at it more as a continuation, because that's what it is. And so it's more of a just seeing where the characters go and stuff for him as well as the audience, and just really being able to dive into like character development over a long period of time. So It's interesting. And I guess I'm doing the same, I keep comparing it to Phobos because that's kind of what I'm doing with Phobos. I do have the big picture in mind, but I do also have, it's too big to where I can't just plan it all out, write all the script out. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm never going to do that because they're just too long.
Probably easier if you don't.
Yeah. And I'm never going to think of all the funny things that happen or the interesting scenes or all at once when I'm writing a script, Like I was telling Fuzzy this morning, I just threw out the last 2 spreads that I thumbnailed, and I was just like, no, like this would have been 5 pages later what I'm doing now, and that doesn't make any sense. This was after those 4 pages had passed from yesterday's work. Mm-hmm. It would have been this scene, but I threw out those 4 pages, and I'm just going to do something simple for one of the spreads now, and I think it tells the story better, and it can give me a chance to do this joke that I wanted to do a long time. I thought of a while ago, and so, it's just like that never would have come up when I was writing the script. I never would have thought that way,
Huh?
Because I never would have had the time to mull over it and mess around with the idea and see that it's not working as smoothly as I wanted it to,
That's a good point. I feel like a lot of humor kind of comes in the moment, and that's true to life, but I never really thought of it true to comics as well and writing. But when I sit down at my sketchbook and I kind of think of like, oh, that's a funny joke, and it doesn't really come until I'm there making it. So
yeah,
interesting.
And I know, Fuzzy, you like to write out your stuff, so you're probably having this. No, you guys are wrong.
Well, it's interesting because I find writing I find making people laugh to be fun and easy in real life.
Yeah.
But when I try to write jokes, I don't seem to be able to have as easy a time.
Yeah.
And I think there is a lot to be said about the spontaneity of good comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think you're speaking a lot of truth here, and I need to think about that.
Well, I don't know if I've ever. Well, it's weird. In high school, I started writing Phobos, right, a long time ago, and it was what made me laugh. And then when I got into art and a career and all that stuff, and then got back into comics, I felt like I couldn't write funny at all. Like it just was not even something I could do. And but going back to Phobos, I just realized, it's just my stupid humor, and that's all it is. It's nothing. And so I'm like kind of diving back into it and just trying to like recreate that, like the freedom to just have fun,
Yeah. Do you think that's partly because maybe you were having a pressure of like, oh, I got to make it good, or I have to make it funny, and then you're like, just kills the spontaneity and the creativity?
I think so, because I think once I became a professional, quote unquote, it's like the funny was in the funny stuff was, I thought it had to be written like a sitcom, or I don't know, and it's like jokes just don't land very well with people all the time. Whereas when I was a kid, it was just like, this is fun,
Yeah, you don't overthink it when you're
in
a good zone and just making it for yourself and not overanalyzing it.
And I was trying to like sell it, I sent it around to publishers and I got it published by a publisher. the first issue of Phobos back in the day in the 90s, like 95 or 6. 90, 95, I think. And so that was my goal, was like to get it published. So it's not like I didn't care about what anyone else thought. It's just I was a lot more free to just say what I wanted to say without worrying about it. There's Zach. Welcome, Zach.
Oh, hey.
Zach.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I thought you were done with us.
Huh? No. I was in a call, and then I looked at the time and everything, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. And then we're like, oh, because it was my dad. So
I got an important meeting to go to now.
no, I let
those are the best phone calls, though. The ones where the other person can't stop talking.
Yeah. We were talking about conspiracy theories and things like that, so it was fun.
Dude, that's great. That's freaking awesome.
Father-son bonding.
Yeah.
All right, I need you guys' opinion.
Okay.
There's this company that lives by us, or that works by, or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. And they're called Picnic People. And every time I pass the van, their catering van, I get like stupid nightmares because of this awful logo that they have, or mascot, whatever you want to call it. And
is that what you're working on now?
This is the actual logo. And what's even worse is somehow the printed one on the catering truck is even worse than this. And I don't know what they thought. Anyway, this just gives me and I wanted to portray the true nightmare that I get from this, but I didn't want to steal their mascot. So I've got this bad boy.
Oh gosh.
They cut on the eyelashes.
Does that feel different enough that it's not stealing?
Yeah, it's because you don't have the drink in the hot dog.
Good. Does it need it?
No.
All right. And is it
creepy.
Okay? Good. That's what I wanted to know.
What I would do? Oh no, go ahead, Jessica.
All I was gonna say is I don't know if you want to move the pupils up a bit so it's really making eye contact with the person.
Oh, great idea.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
To your soul.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Why do I suddenly think about the earlier conversation when Jason was talking, not wanting to draw me like,
oh no, it's so much worse.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, that's so fantastic.
Now the eyebrows look too passive, though. The eyebrows need to.
I think there's something horrifying about it not being like I don't know. When like a supervillain goes like and it's like that angry face, and you're just like, yeah. But then when like an old lady is like, hello, and, like she's almost got too calm a face, that freaks me out even more. So I don't know. How do I keep that?
You could make the eyes a little bit bigger and then keep the pupils a little bit smaller. I don't know. Oh, here, I'm playing around with it right now because this is fun.
The joke in this is that he hasn't seen the sun for so long that he's worried about what it might look like. Like he's like, I hope it doesn't change, or what the line is like, I wonder if the sun will look any different when I see it again. And then he sees this sign and he's like, my God, I hope not.
If you put it on my screen, this is kind of what I was talking about. A subtle shift.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, what a freaking nightmare. What did you do?
I just made the eyes a little bit bigger and then the pupils a little bit smaller, but you want to make sure that they don't get lost depending on where it's at in your comic. Make sure that the pupils are still visible, but just barely.
I'm gonna bring what you did down. See what I.
That has an It vibe right now.
Oh,
no, I don't do horror, which is funny. So
well, you fooled me.
I'm gonna. You saved it. You good? Because I'm closing this out and never saved it.
We're looking at this stupid thing again. Oh my gosh.
Let me go back to my happy place, my planets.
This is You know what? That's funny. Because Zach, when we were helping you, it was like, I can't quite get it to look scary. Like we're all too happy, you know? Oh, man, it's definitely way more upsetting. Thank you.
You're welcome? Question mark?
There it is.
I like that. I can't believe that was the original one that you showed was like their logo.
It's not okay. Like,
but it's memorable, so then you remember.
Yeah, I remember to never go near those people.
Don't let your children hide your wife.
Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever drawn.
What's the name of the pretend company or truck or whatever?
I don't know. My wife had some good punny stuff that she was gonna shoot at me.
Kind of like something really happy and cute, but then the image that pairs with it is like, ugh.
Hey,
that little opposite.
That's the hello. It's just not okay. This is definitely worse than what they have, right? And it makes that look so much less scary. But like, I don't know. It's still not good. All right. And now I feel like if I give him arms, they have to be like hugely muscular.
Or just really small and itty bitty. I don't know. You want to keep the focus on the eyes. You don't want to distract.
That's a good point.
Here, one sec, guys. I'll be right back.
I think I didn't hear that correctly.
What?
It sounded like she said something that I know what she was supposed to say, but my brain was like, that's not what she said.
She did not say she'll be black.
I didn't say it.
All right, guys. If the stream drops out, you can go to.
Because I said that.
Yeah.
It's a color.
Twitch. I don't know, man. I don't know what those words, those keywords are that
trigger words
Google gets weirded out over.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Ugh.
YouTube getting triggered.
Did you hear about yesterday, Zach?
No, what happened?
So we went for 5.5 hours, by the way. 5 hours and 45 minutes. But the last hour we started talking about H.P. Lovecraft, and the stream cut out, and it's because of.
Well, it's because I spoke about what H.P. Lovecraft is and his
opinions,
beliefs, and opinions on.
Well, let's not do that right now.
On human color schemes.
On color
right now. I just got in here. Don't do it.
Let's dance around it.
Watch. Yeah. It's like he just got taken off like just now.
What? No. There's still 42 people watching. So I definitely don't have that audience on Facebook or Twitch.
Are we just all quiet because we're waiting for the stream to get knocked off?
guess we're just focused.
I'm typing, sorry. I was rewatching Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
They really did a good job on that movie, I tell you.
It was good. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man, so
Take that back right now.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I could take what back? It's not like I dissed it. It's not like I said Spider-Man.
No. That's, you're free to have your opinion. Is it just not interesting to you, or is it?
Yeah. I just out of all the superheroes, I don't know why. And the same thing could be said about Batman for what I'm about to say, but for some reason the whole entire animal having a thing to it for some reason makes it less cool for me. But for some reason I really resonate with Batman, but I don't resonate with Spider-Man at all.
Well, I've got right in front of me, I don't know if you can see my screen, or my you can see my shrine to Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
Wow.
No joke.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
So you don't like Spider-Man, so he's not your thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's just not my.
No, it's fine. Just because I like Spider-Man doesn't mean I'm gonna kill everyone who doesn't like him.
Is that a threat?
No, I'm what? I said the opposite of a threat. I was saying,
yeah, but
fine.
Usually people mean the opposite of what they say.
Do they? I don't believe in lying. I think we talked about this before. I'm not a.
You're a liar.
You're coming for me right now. I can feel it.
Yep. I would never do that.
Hello?
Who is it?
I heard you don't like Spider-Man.
How dare you? He's an American staple. He represents the teenage experience.
Spiders and men.
He represents all rights for spiders and men.
I think I had a bad experience with those first Tobey Maguire movies.
We don't talk about those. We don't talk about those. Those are
a bad experience.
Yeah, no, like because I was young when those came out, so it was like everybody was like, "Yeah, Spider-Man," and I was forced to go see those in theaters quite a few times.
Yeah.
And then when the movie finally came out, they were relentlessly played it on every DVD player that existed, and so
I will happily say that I am not a fan of those. I think there's good parts, but I do not think that they are
emo-verse. Have you been
what?
You're part of that emo-verse.
I like I like the most. What was it? I know this is not popular opinion. I liked the what do you call it? Spectacular Spider-Man.
What was that?
Amazing.
With Amazing. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular was the cartoon. Amazing with Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw that one.
It's if you. I feel like a lot of people get really like hung up on stuff like it needs to be exactly like the comic, and I just don't think that's. I don't know. There's no creativity when you do it like that. let people be weird.
Interpretation of something they already know, which is the big argument for most things, though. You know, they're like, well, I don't want you to reinterpret it. I just want you to make it look cooler.
That takes reinterpreting.
Exactly. That. I'm not trying to counter argue. I'm just trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
misunderstood what they're
you.
saying is when it comes to anytime you change medium, you know.
Yeah, and we talked about this recently, didn't we?
I have no idea. But anytime you change it, you know, no, we did. We just talked with Craig.
Yeah.
We talked about this kind of. Like anytime you change the medium, certain things have to be adjusted because some things just don't translate between.
Yeah,
it's very difficult for them to.
And I don't know. I'm always of the mindset like no matter what changes are made, it didn't like the original Ditko comics still exist. Like, you didn't delete them to make room for this new thing.
Unless you're Star Wars, unless you're Kathleen, whatever her name is.
Kennedy.
Yeah, and then she's like, you know, nothing it is canon anymore. So she did destroy everything that was Star Wars. So.
Well, even Lucas did that though, because he wouldn't really let the original Star Wars be released, the theatrical version, you know.
I will say with Lucas, whenever it came to his own stuff, he was pretty weird and stingy. But when it came to literally anyone else, like making their own version of his stuff, he was like, "Yeah, cool. Just make sure it's accurate."
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like when parodies made fun of something, or you know, comedy shows, whatever, would make fun of something, and they're like, "Yeah, just make sure it looks just like him." Mm-hmm. Whereas normally, you know, they'd be like, "Well, you have to make it this different so that you're not ruining our image."
Yeah.
But then he was, I don't know what his mentality was, but it was so good because he just was like, yeah, whatever. And then the same thing, like with serious stuff too. Like he was like, yeah, just try to be aware of the stuff that I've already built and don't, you know.
Yeah. And that seemed to have worked really well. Like to just, I got my vision. You can play in that world, but I'm just know that my vision's the foundation for it, I guess.
Yeah, I think he did a fantastic job of, like I think he gets a lot of flack from his fans, but I think he was the nicest to his fans in terms of like how big companies usually are.
Yeah. I'm just talking about trying to find the very first Star Wars versions.
Yeah.
Like what are called like the despecialized versions now.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, you can get those. You can.
Yeah, I have a copy of those on my computer, and every now and then I'll watch it when I'm working, you know. And I just wish that would be released somehow.
Well, now that Disney owns it, you can expect that at some point.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh?
I doubt they would.
They want to get rid of. They want to destroy that whole entire everything that like he made.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want those things around. That's the reason why they killed off all the original characters so quickly, is because those characters were part of the contract that he had with them, is that they would have to pay royalties for using those same characters. Any characters they brought over, he'd have to pay royalties. That's why they killed him off so quickly, so they didn't have to pay him royalties.
Because Disney can afford it.
And not because it was a good story, just because we're like, I don't want to pay you money.
Yeah.
Han Solo, you must die.
Well, I think Han Solo died because, and he's come out saying this, he wanted to die.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a part of that anymore.
Yeah. I wonder if they would charge or like somehow do some exclusive viewing for the unedited original.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's Disney. It feels weird that they wouldn't milk us for everything we've got, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they know how much everybody loves that stuff.
Yep.
So it just feels weird and sort of unbelievable to me that they wouldn't be holding on to it for some specialty release down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you make that limited special release. You know,
if they do
40 people spend a bajillion.
Kennedy edition though. Where they're going to change the narrative entirely. It's not even going to be the Star Wars we knew.
Well, I think what was it? Who Kevin Feige's in charge of going to be doing a movie soon. He's going to be in charge of some Star Wars movie soon, from what I've heard. So maybe if he makes Disney enough money, they'll kick her off.
Well, no, and this is big speculation, but like she has a contract that ends this year, at the end of this year, and they promised that she could make her, that female whatever Star Wars thing that they have going right now, super female whatever, and that she brought all those feminists on for. And the thing is, they can't just outright fire her without taking a bunch of backlash. So what they're trying to do, and it's being speculated, is Feige's trying to just put the movie and all that stuff into like basically indefinite limbo until her contract runs out, where they just don't renew it. So they don't deal with her anymore. I'm hoping for.
I just want good entertainment,
Yeah, no.
I'm so tired of the arguments that.
So tired of the agenda behind everything.
I don't care on
Stories
either
with stories.
one. I just want my lightsabers and my weird aliens,
I'm with you.
Here's a question to the group. Do you think Disney himself likes what they are doing with his company?
No.
Well, I don't think he feels anything.
Unless you believe that he's been frozen.
Yeah.
Go theory.
Do we think that in his frozen state, with all the video feed that they're sending him? I don't know.
Crying tears of ice.
I think the man was a businessman above all else, and he didn't mind. I mean, it's funny because what Disney, the company, became is pretty close to what he was as a dude, from what I can tell. I mean, of course, none of us actually know the guy, right? So we can't speak to what he really would have thought. But
I think he would be really angry because there's a lot of bad business decisions that have been made.
Yeah, but there were when he was alive too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with experimenting, But like, he would have pointed out like the huge failure of not marketing things like comics and toys and stuff like that to go along with all these franchises they made. That they did like zero marketing for all that stuff, and zero merchandising. He would have been pissed.
I also think that he would have just been looked at as an old white man.
Yeah, which is unfair.
So even if he did have good points or say some things that might matter, I don't know that he would have been. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Go with like, get your agenda out of my entertainment. I have strong feelings about this. I don't know if you can tell.
Let's get on an art subject.
Not Disney, an art.
Yeah.
Lovecraft, right?
Sorry.
Let's talk about a Disney-like thing. What is Ghibli? Do you guys like Ghibli?
Oh yeah. I do.
It is good.
Is wonderful, delicious animation. And you guys got a favorite Ghibli movie?
Many favorites. How about no. What is the one that introduced the cat with the top hat dude? I can't remember what it's called. Research.
Are you talking about the love story one or the Return
the
of the Cat?
Love Story one. That was a really good one. Where she
he shows up in 2 Ghibli movies.
He does.
There's The Cat Returns, where he's actually alive.
Yeah.
And then there's the Whisper of the Heart. Thank you.
Yeah, Whisper of the Heart. That's a really underrated film that not a lot.
Not a lot of people like that one. That's pretty cool that you like it, but that you know about it even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun one.
I liked it a lot.
I do like The Cat Returns. That was too bad I didn't see it as a kid because I would have been obsessed. But yeah, it was cute. Although it's not, is it actually Studio Ghibli or was it kind of like in association with?
No, that was Miyazaki. I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't Miyazaki that did it. It was Studio Ghibli that made it, but Miyazaki didn't direct it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the other director.
Yeah.
Takahata or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, those were fun.
I like that one. She got turned into a cat, and then she had to go into cat world.
Mm-hmm. Very fun and lighthearted. Mm-hmm. Totoro is cute too. And I liked it because we lived in Japan for a while, and that was the first time I actually saw it in Japan. And I was like, it's like we live in the movie. So great. It's real.
It's real. Excuse me. The first one I saw was Princess Mononoke in the theater in LA. A friend of mine was like, "Come, we gotta go see this movie," and I didn't quite. I wasn't sure what I thought about it. I was done. But then years later, I started like really getting into stuff, and then I realized what I saw. I was like, I saw Princess Mononoke in the theater. What? And then Spirited Away was my favorite one for a long time.
Oh my gosh!
Because I saw that one in the theater too when it came out.
That was a freaking triumph. I showed that to my wife when we were first getting to know each other, and my dad came downstairs while we were watching it, and I can't remember if he said it in front of her or if he like pulled me aside. I'm pretty sure he pulled me aside, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Are you trying to lose her? Are you trying to push her away?"
Dad, you just don't understand.
Well, I was like, I wasn't like offended. I was just like, "Oh, is this?
What do you mean?
Is this not good?" I was like, she's an artist. Maybe I thought she would appreciate it. And it turned out, no, she did not. But, well, no, she loves Miyazaki now. Okay. But, like, she hadn't. I had spent my free time doing stuff like comics and animation. So I knew I had a concept of how difficult it was. Like, I didn't fully understand everything that I was looking at, but I was like, I know how hard this could be, you know, like, and so she didn't really have that at the time because she had been doing traditional work, you know, and I don't know.
You know, the very first anime I ever saw was that, and it was actually my husband and I saw it. We were like newly married, and we're like, let's watch an anime together. And that was the very first one, and we both were like, what did we just see? Like, I don't get it. But after a while, it's kind of like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, looking back, it's a lot for a first-time viewer.
It probably would. The next one we watched was Castle in the Sky, which was a much better intro, I think.
Oh yeah.
I would probably appreciate it a lot more now, but when we first saw it, it was kind of like, what?
Have you ever seen Porco Rosso?
What?
That's one of my favorites.
Porco Rosso?
That was cute. Unique.
I have a whole library of Miyazaki over there that I could go through, but...
Yeah. Me too.
Is it also like a shrine? Like the Spider-Man shrine?
No. It's just...
Don't say like that.
No, nothing like that. I have a picture of Miyazaki just taped on the wall.
Just like, one day.
No. I just collect lots of DVDs, like a weird person that likes physical things. So I have a lot of movies.
Well, if you ever go to Japan, go visit the Ghibli Museum. It's pretty fun. And they have a cat bus there.
Ooh, does it have nuts?
I didn't check because there's a lot of little kids playing all over it. So.
I think that was by far the more jarring thing that I.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, why are there? What's happening here?
Oh, they are not shy about that. Nope.
Sorry, what?
There's nuts on the cat bus, dude.
Oh yeah, the cat bus. I totally forgot about Totoro.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
So, have you guys seen that one where they're like shapeshifter raccoons?
Raccoons. I have not seen it.
Freaking yes.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
My wife and I sing that song to each other all the time.
What?
How sweet.
It's what's this? How's it
I
go
forget what
again?
it's called. I have it though.
Shape-shifting raccoons.
Yeah. They're
Yeah, it's by Ghibli, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I have it, I think.
Pompoko.
Yeah.
What?
You've never seen that one, Zach.
Wait, what is it called?
You've never seen Pompoko?
Be prepared to be offended.
They're the Tanukis.
No.
They're the Tanukis, and it is a bit upsetting.
I've seen clips and like, oh
the premise of it is a bit upsetting just in terms of, but like I think that it's different for the Japanese people. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that it means
on something we were talking about earlier.
Sorry?
Or is it a narration basically on something that we were talking about earlier?
No.
Have you looked up any images?
Yeah,
No.
I'm looking at it right now.
No.
They call them pouches, but they're not.
Yeah, the English version calls it pouches.
Nice try, English version.
Oh my god.
Now he sees it.
I was like, pouches. And then I saw these things. I'm like, what the crap are those? Those are definitely not pouches.
And it's fully animated.
Is that where they store their nuts?
Oh man. I miss Japan.
Mr. Raccoon, Mr. Raccoon.
I can understand your dad coming in and saying, "What are you doing with Pompoko?"
I didn't show her Pompoko. Unbelievable. Acting like I'm... That's bonkers. I would never do that. I think.
A poor soul who's like never seen anime before is like, this looks like a good movie. Want to watch it?
It's so much fun.
Daddy.
This nightmare. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Creepy Sun's looking good.
Just got to figure out what it's advertising.
Nuts.
Do you enjoy nuts?
Yeah, like, you could do the seeds, the sun.
Mr. Sun would like you to enjoy some nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be something like
sunflower seeds.
Yes.
No. Oh, it's the worst. What have you done? That's the greatest idea.
Is that the first time you see the sun on there?
Yeah, you're not like focusing on it really though.
Yeah.
Or at least you're not supposed to. You just kind of like, oh, that's nice, and then you see it down here, like close up, and you're like, oh.
Okay, good punchline.
No.
No.
All right.
It's like, Aunt Grandma's cookies or whatever, like Auntie M's something. It should be like this sweet title and this like creepy looking sun.
Mr. Nightmares. Sunflower seeds. I will come back to this. I have some regrets. All right, whatever.
It'll be memorable.
Yep. I hope for the right reasons. I hope they laugh and not cry, you know. Now that song's stuck in my head.
Which one?
Mr. Raccoon, Mr. Raccoon.
You're welcome.
Oh, Zach, I found a PlayStation 3 version of that game, that guitar game.
Oh.
What's it called?
The Rock Band? Or
not Rock
Band, guitar. What's it called? Hold on.
Rocksmith. And I ordered it. It was used, but it's the 2016 or 14 edition. Mm-hmm. So it's the one you were talking about. But it didn't have the cable. And so I was like, dang it, I need to find the cable.
They have it on Amazon. I got one for like $17 on Amazon. So it works pretty well.
Okay.
But mine was a USB hookup. I don't know what the PlayStation 2 uses to hook up their controllers. Or 3. Yeah, 3 should be USB as well.
I think it's USB.
So
cool.
I've been enjoying that game. I learned was it Evermore or Everlong or something by Foo Fighters yesterday.
Oh, that's a tricky one.
That was fun. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah, that song. It's just really tiring because it's literally just bars. It's barring like 100% of the time. So
I can do barring forever almost. That's the one thing I'm okay at. All the picking individual notes, that's where I'm not very good.
Yeah, no, that one has like very few individual notes, and it's 90% of it's like holding a bar, and my thumb gets all cramped.
Yeah.
Playing it, but it's mostly because I haven't played in years.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta train yourself to get back into that.
But it's a weird timing though too, isn't it? The strum pattern. At least that's what I remember.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's weird, but it doesn't like it's hard when you're starting because when it starts it doesn't give you a countdown at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first start off, it's a lot faster than you think it is,
Oh yeah.
But every time I start it, I'm usually like a little late. But then once you get into it, it you level out and you get into the rhythm. But
yeah. Oh, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to trying it. And my kids have wanted to. Well, when my oldest wants to learn to play guitar, and I show him stuff, but then it's just not the music he wants to learn. So, it's like he loses interest.
What does he want to learn?
Well, I don't know exactly. It's just the stuff mainly the stuff I play for him is like my songs, or just like, here, you got to learn these basic chords back and forth until your fingers get used to it. And that's just not interesting to him. He just wants to start playing something. So I think that would be awesome because it plays the music, and kind of walks him through it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of songs that I know he would recognize.
Yeah, it has a really good practice system. Yeah. Which is basically you're able to pause, and then it'll pick out a section of the song that you can keep looping and then every time you get all the notes correct, what it does is it levels you up so that it adds more of the actual song into it. So you slowly progress, and if you do it that way, eventually you'll learn the whole entire song. Yeah. And what it does also is, like, if you're having a hard time, like if you're missing a lot of notes, it'll actually regress and like slow it down for you until you hit all the notes and stuff. That's so cool. Smart system that makes it so you don't get frustrated. Yeah. Well, too frustrated.
Oh man, I love it. So. Yeah, I want to start doing it because that's one of the things I've always been bad at is actually learning other songs. I can make up my own dumb songs and then don't know anything else. And so when someone says play a song, I'm like, well, I could play one of my emo songs that no one's heard before.
Jason Rebecca, I'm so sad.
I could play the I'm so sad song or the I'm depressed today.
Hey, you've seen the the Scott Pilgrim movie?
So sad.
Yeah.
Not a race, you guys.
I actually really enjoy that movie, and it's mostly because I didn't like the comic.
Yeah.
I didn't like the comic, but I enjoyed the movie. So
I liked the comic. I thought the comic was fun. And I think the second half of the movie was a little bit more of a letdown, but the first half was awesome. In my mind.
In your remind?
In my remind.
Funny stuff. Funny.
Yeah, we are comedians here.
Haha, so funny.
So Zach, tomorrow, I don't know if you heard, but or maybe you didn't hear either, Jessica. Tomorrow, one of the creators of Macroverse is going to be on with us, and he's going to just hang out and draw with us. But he's also going to be able to answer any questions and talk about Macroverse and what their business is and all that stuff. So I figured it'd be kind of fun to just have you guys ask him stuff, and he's going to come on again like next Wednesday because we're launching Remind on Macroverse again, like a hard launch. And so we're going to kind of promote it that way, but I'm going to try to have other artists from that have webcomics on that platform come on the stream too, randomly on Wednesdays. So at least that's the hope. That's my hope. And we talked about it a little bit. So
that's super cool.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard of Macroverse, anyone online, go head over to Macroverse or type in. Let me just find it because I don't remember exactly. But it's kind of like a Webtoons, but it is these two guys made it. They're an LA based company, and I like the navigation, the webcomic navigation, better than Webtoons personally. And it's a type of thing where you have to submit it and get it approved. you can't just no one. It's not like anyone can just post on there like Webtoons, but you get it approved, and then the thing is, here we go. So it's Macroverse Media, macroverse.media, and they're trying to do it like a Netflix type thing, where it's basically you pay $5 and you get access to the whole catalog. So it's for the cost of one comic, you can access all the comics that they offer, and it's for your phone, and it's just a really sweet navigation where you click through it, but it kind of has subtly animated stuff, and it's just really good. It's really well done. Oh, look, there's Remind. So see how they reformatted Remind to fit this in it. So it's
so they do all the reformatting and everything.
They did for me because I was one of the first guys on it, but they're encouraging the artists to do their own kind of navigation. So, but you can read Remind on there now. Remind's not online anymore because my website got hacked, and so I took it off. But this is where I'm going to start putting it from now on. Where is here? And anyway, so they're all kind of they have a quality control type thing, like to where it's like it's got to be a certain quality. They want it to be like the HBO of comics, so you have to pay a little bit, but then you get a nicely curated content. And so they want a lot of artists to come on board, obviously, but they're just trying to build their membership. And the thing is with the membership is they split the revenue with the artists. So.
And that'd be like a good question to ask, like how they figure that out. Is it based
on
views?
And it's pretty simple. I'll let him explain that, but it seems like a very simple, cut and dry, easy to understand how the revenue is getting shared, compared to something like Webtoons where it's just a mystery. Like you got to trust them. Well, I mean, there's obviously going to be trust in this too, but anyway, so that's Macroverse. If you guys want to dive into it and download it and check it out, and come back tomorrow with questions, not you guys on the stream too, but anyone watching, Eben will be here tomorrow to answer any questions about Macroverse. So that's tomorrow, and he'll be here on Wednesdays. So that's the plan.
Neato.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to pick his brain.
Yeah. They're really trying to make it so that it's a platform that pays the bills of the artists. Like they want it to just cover everything, you know. So their goal is to build up that membership and get it kind of big enough to where you can actually get a good paycheck from them, you know, similar to what Webtoons is doing. Which is exciting.
And they're relatively new, right? Like within the last.
Yeah, they're real new. Yeah, it was it October or something that they launched? I think. Could be wrong.
Sounds about right. Oh, Jason, I was going to ask, do you know if your local comic book store still has Shapes in stock?
Oh, yeah, they have a bunch of them.
Okay.
I don't know if they have the newest one. I thought they did, but apparently they didn't. But it's just a matter of waiting for Diamond to fulfill orders, because Diamond's just been, I guess, not doing anything. So.
Yeah, I checked with my local comic book store, and they were having issues with just with current events, trying to actually get things moving and shipping and all that fun stuff.
So I don't know exactly.
I will ask.
I haven't talked to them this week yet, so. but they're willing to send it and even send you signed copies because I signed a bunch for them, and so that's what people are wanting. I'm trying to not do any of that myself. So otherwise I would be spending a lot of my time sending out stuff, which is not a bad problem to have. It's just takes up
other important things too.
Yeah, I want to get the next books done. So I started watching that show Parasite with a Y.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's cool.
It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
I've been powering through it. My wife came down and was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "This is interesting anime, but brace yourself. It's kind of disturbing unless you understand what's happening."
I was gonna say it's not something you jump into in the middle of, you know.
Yeah. The imagery is so bizarre, but
are you watching? Because I know it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
The dubbed version on Netflix. Right? Is that where you're watching it?
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually one of the few times they did a really good job on the dub. And the story carries through and everything. Where are you though? What was your last episode?
He got revenge on the thing that killed his mom, and then
dang, you're pretty far.
And then went back home, and there's the new kid in school who the one other girl realized that he's a shapeshifter too. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool. Hey, you got some ways to go. I need to warn you that there's going to be a point where you're going to be like, wow, they should end it right now, and then they don't. You know?
Yeah.
I'm so interested in what you're talking about because I don't know that I agree.
You know, after the baby, it feels like that should have ended everything.
What?
I love how you're talking so cryptically.
I'm trying to talk cryptically.
I do know what you're talking about. I just don't agree at all. I think that's a weird place to end it.
Well, I didn't like the whole entire the way they did end it.
This conversation just can't happen.
Yeah, it can't happen without spoiling it.
Yeah, we'll come back to it because I'll get through it pretty fast.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying it so.
I watched the live action.
Have you seen it? Because I have not.
I haven't. That's why I want to watch it.
Wait, there's a live action version of that same show?
Yeah.
It looks gnarly too. If you go watch like a trailer.
There's like 2 movies, I think, or something like that.
It looks gnarly.
Wow. Is it? It's not that other Parasite.
There's a live action Parasite with an I, and there's a live action Parasite with a Y.
Okay, I haven't seen either, so I want to see both. I didn't realize there was a live action version of this one though.
Mm-hmm. And it's really, really like if you just watch the trailer, you're gonna be like, "What?" actually looks pretty okay because it doesn't look like cheesy animation and stuff. It looks like someone really took some love to that to make it look interesting, you know?
Okay.
So
awesome.
And it looks like it's pretty solid with as far as the story to the original. Like they didn't cut corners that much. Just the way that starts off in that first parasite and him having to deal with it, I think is like the best part of the whole entire series. Though when they're finally like that relationship building that they have.
Yes.
For anybody that doesn't understand what we're talking about, it's like if your hand was possessed and all of a sudden you had to become friends with it. Or to kill you.
But it needs you to stay alive so that it can stay alive.
Yep.
So
but it's constantly trying to figure out a way for it to survive on its own.
Sounds like a Doug TenNapel story.
Yeah, I was actually thinking I need to tell Doug about this. He would like.
He probably knows about it.
Yeah.
You just hear Maury saying, "Oh yeah."
Poor Doug just got out of some pretty intense surgery.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. So.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
All good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a skin cancer.
Sweet.
They removed it all from his face.
That could have been in a pretty deadly place
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't catch it.
Man.
Something about lymph nodes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear he's okay.
One of the first things he did out of surgery was go and stream.
I know. That's the last thing I would have done.
You know.
I'd be like, you know what? People can just wait till I'm ready to update them.
What a guy.
He was talking about, he's like, hey, look what they did. They cut my face open and then they took all the skin from my neck and they made me look better. I think he was saying that he basically got like a facelift. It was quite entertaining. Entertaining guy. Oh, I was going to show you guys. Forgot about this. I yesterday, not a few days ago, they showed off the flag for the Space Force.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
And I saw it, and my head instantly went to this. But apparently, the United States has already been using the symbol and stuff for, I guess, the Air Force, the Space Air Force, whatever, for like the past 6 months or something. But It was just like when I first saw this one, I was like, that looks like Starfleet Command.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Wow. I didn't even make that connection.
So.
I mean, that can't be an accident.
No, of course not. But the thing is, though, there's a lot of people, when I posted it, because I was just like, I'm just going to leave this right here. Some people thought it was really funny, but then I have people that are like, the United States Air Force Space Command insignia, which is really, really old, is basically the same thing.
So
this one, and it's really old.
So the implication is that they stole they were paying homage to the actual Air Force when they made that logo, not the other way around. That's cool. Yeah, see, there's this Aeronautics and Space Administration in the U.S. has, and they this thing that they show, and then so it's like, I don't know who came up with the symbol,
the symbols and everything first, but it's all like they all bounce off of each other. They use each other's things, so it's kind of cool to see it actually happening, though. You know,
I think something similar happened with the Punisher logo. Can't remember what the. How did that go? It was like a team of special ops people, and then that was what the original logo was based off of, and then like they ended up, there was another special ops team that took the Punisher logo as their own like later, and it was just like this back and forth thing.
I like to take logos.
Also, is the real Space Force?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's also a Space Force show coming out on Netflix at some point.
Yeah, next week.
Is it a movie?
Steve Carell, yeah.
I thought it was a show.
I don't know, but it's on Netflix. It comes out next. I don't know if it's a movie or a show. Just know it has Steve Carell in it, so I might watch it. It's from the writers, or I can't remember if it's writers or director of The Office. So
right.
So I was like, that might be fun to watch.
How much time you got left, Fuzzy, on that Webtoons contest?
The last, let's see, the last day for submissions is June 30th or something like that.
Got a while.
Yeah. Let me look at that again. Yeah, so submit your story until June 30th, and then the winner is announced July 31st.
And how's your comic rating going?
Not good enough.
No. Oh.
Everyone come read it.
Yeah.
How can you tell your comic rating?
Oh, the rating is good. Misinforming, I apologize. My rating is at 9.4, which is good. Anything above a 9 is great for me. And the readership, I have 409 subscribers. And then the what was I saying? I mean, I don't know. I've got a lot of likes. I just need it to be high enough up there that people care, the editors care and see it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is easier said than done.
I think a lot of it is, if they put it in front of people, people will check it out, So
yeah, and I if they do some advertising for me, I trust that will push. I trust enough to say that'll be good for me, but they do grade somewhat on the audience that you bring with you. So I, or at the very least, from what I've been told.
Interesting.
Hopefully they take a chance on you.
I mean, that would be wonderful. I think that promise I'll do good.
This sounds like a really stupid question, but how do they make money?
Advertising.
I just don't remember
Right
seeing
now, they actually they have a subscription kind of service right now.
Oh yeah, they do have that too. But they also have like at the end of every episode, or like something, or like even sometimes between, like in the middle of an episode, you'll see an ad for something.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fairly new. That's pretty new, the advertising stuff.
Okay, maybe that's why.
For years and years, it was just seed money, and that's what they told me when I went in to talk to them when they wanted me on board. I was like, "How are you guys getting paid for this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's all seed money. We're just investing money in to try to grow an audience, and then once we get a big enough audience, then we'll switch over to advertising and stuff." So they weren't making money for a long time.
Well, the American one wasn't.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, the Korean one blasted off. So.
Oh yeah, the Korean one's huge. Huge.
Is it moist?
No.
Get away from me.
You're going to have YouTube kill the stream.
It's going to be your fault.
Careful.
What do you want to say? You want to say, is it drenched with positivity?
Yikes, man.
Oh, we went there.
Everyone grunted at the same time. Oh. Why?
At least I'm not the only one now.
I think it's more so they're worried about the channel getting taken down. They're not worried about the word.
Well, they should be. It's a not fun word, so.
It's a total fun word. You should say it more often.
No!
Hey,
why are you like this? Why do you hate me?
I hate you. I care about you so much. I want you to be not allergic to the word. So you have
it's
to
not an allergy. It's an aversion.
Yeah, you have to expose yourself to
it's
it.
It's an understanding of the sin that you're committing when you.
What sin? It's a word.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't agree more, but it also just. It's just the images it conjures, you know?
No, I don't. I think that's a state of mind that you have to overcome.
Nicodemus.
Okay.
Do you remember the Secret of NIMH movie?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He is what I think of every time I hear that word.
Isn't Nicodemus the husband that dies?
No, Nicodemus is the gross freaking wizard dude with the gnarly hands.
You mean the rat?
Yeah, he's a rat, but he's got gnarly hands.
So? He's not moist.
He is, because he lives in like the... What do you call it?
Sewer? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, he lives in something like a sewer. He lives in like this gnarly old area. I'm doing a great job of verbalizing today.
And all your points across very firmly.
Genius.
Yes.
Misunderstood in his time.
You know, that's what Nancy Pelosi said. She's misunderstood.
Dude, for someone who actively avoids politics, you seem to be bringing it up a lot.
I'm just saying, you're like, I'm trying to. I think I'm just having fun putting you in uncomfortable positions right now, Fuzzy.
Thanks.
I'm seeing how much extra I can play with you before you break. It's like I put like these things in front of you. It's kind of like I put toys in front of you, but they all have bombs attached to them to see which ones you play with. I don't know. I love you, Fuzzy.
Fantastic.
It's like,
it's
like you're playing Sims with Fuzzy.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Poor Fuzzy.
Whatever.
Just know that I only do that to people I actually really like. So
good to know.
Mm-hmm. You're on my top 10, buddy.
That is truly flattering, I suppose.
It's kind of like when Sherlock and Watson's kind of like, you're the Watson, I'm Sherlock, and I'm just making your life hard. You're like, I guess I'll deal with you. Yes. No one watched Sherlock?
No, I do.
Which one?
I just I don't know if I agree.
Are you saying that I'm giving myself too much credit?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh man!
Really?
That's ridiculous. I only got one page done. Or drawn anyway. Well, I'm going to have to cut this one off today because I have to do proofing for cognitive drawing and several other things on that.
No going 7 hours today?
Yeah, no 7-hour streams today. No, but yeah.
Well, it's been fun.
Well, why don't you guys share what you guys are working on and where people can find you before we stop?
Ooh. Well, since the screen's on me, you can find my work, or should I get up my website?
Sure, whatever you want to do. Here, I'll give you a second to find all your websites, okay?
Give me a sec.
I'll shout out my stuff.
Go for it.
So in case no one knows, I'm working on Phobos right there. If you become a patron or a member on YouTube, you can have access to my to the Phobos comic as I post it online. No one else has access to it because I'm refining it, and then eventually it'll get printed later this year. So, but yeah, members on YouTube and patrons get access to it. So there's that. We also got cognitive drawing happening right now. 45 hours left. We are getting really close to the $40,000 stretch goal, which will unlock a little calendar checklist thing that you can print out and help you get through the cognitive drawing book. Yeah, so this focuses on the male figure. 90 days of exercises and 160 pages. And if you look on my YouTube channel, I just posted a video about the proofs, so you can see what the proofs of the book look like. We're at the printer right now. I just need to approve the proofs, and then they'll start actually printing. So the book is done and pretty much ready to go. So you'll get it right away. Anyway, let's move on over to who? I don't see your screen anymore, Jessica.
No.
Let's move on over to Zach real quick. All right, Zach, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me on Indiegogo. Project's still live for the moment as far as in demand. Golma. So if you like what you see right now, that's what the whole book kind of looks like. It's kind of crazy.
There's your stuff. There's your info right there. Blammo.
Wow. So cool. So yeah, thank you all for watching.
And we got Fuzzy.
All right. Well, right now I've got my short story contest submission for Webtoons up on webtoons.com, and it's called Dead Air. You can check it out, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Let's see if I can. Oh boy. Yeah. So come and check it out. It is sort of a creepy Twilight Zone style story of a kid who finds radio, and creepiness ensues. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. Beautiful art, great story, really well written.
Thank you.
Nice twist at the end. So go over there and give them some likes and comments, because that really helps us score on Webtoons.
Yeah, and if I can do well enough, maybe I can pitch a story with these guys to Webtoons, get a long form story going. So there you go.
And we got Jessica.
Hey, yeah. So come check me out. I have my website at jessicavanderpaul.com with 1 O. And you can also check me out on Instagram at vanderjess10. And I do a bunch of children's art, and I do comics and things of that nature. And starting to post a little bit more. I'm also working on a comic about a space angel, as what you can see in Clip Studio. So more to come on that.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me do one more thing. So tomorrow, oops, that messed up. So tomorrow we're going to have one of the guys who created this company, Macroverse, on the channel. So come loaded with questions to ask him about Macroverse. It's like a Webtoons equivalent, a little bit different navigation system, different way of earning money on it. So if you're an artist who's making a webcomic, definitely look into Macroverse, check it out, and come back tomorrow, and we will talk to Eben about Macroverse and some other things too. So, all right, that's all we got today, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks, my friends, for coming on the show with me.
Thank you.